Maybe they can't. Off the street. Giving them benefit of the doubt or something.
I don't know. All right, well, we're gonna try to scan.
I think it's Stu's back.
Oh, I do too.
I don't know.
I'm vegan.
All right, well,
Oh, yeah.
But he was in Stu.
okay.
So you got it. Joking.
You're over on the other side of John, but you can stay there if you want. Okay, Trish just gonna pick her up.
You're good.
Well, 5 o'clock, shall we start without Corey? Did anyone hear from Corey?
I got no.
He didn't message me back today. They're not gonna.
5 minutes late.
Perfect. Come on, Corey. Yeah, we can start then. All right, it's still 5 o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and call this meeting to order. If you can, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I am looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second. I would like to make an
I didn't
adjustment.
hear who seconded it.
Jamie.
Go ahead.
Sorry, that's why.
I would like to move closed session items B, C, and D to open session under new business for the purpose of expediting the meeting and showing transparency.
Let me go in. So that does show, it will have a lot of names that are in there, being that we have like one person in some of these positions. And so you said B, C, and D.
Everything enclosed.
D is gonna include some financials pieces that we will be speaking about regarding a contract.
That's why I'd like it moved. I think it's important for the public to hear the proposal.
I don't think that there isn't a reason that the information wouldn't come out of the closed session eventually, but that typically is something that is done in closed when we're discussing specific contracts.
I understand that it typically is, but
Yeah.
I'm hearing people wanting more transparency. I personally agree with them.
Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion with those addendum items moved into open? Or second that?
Yeah, second it.
So-
Basically.
Everything enclosed, instead of it being closed, Polly's proposing it all being open.
So is there a second to move B, C, and D into open?
That's fine.
I don't know if, do you guys need more
I
time
think C
to?
probably has a lot of stuff that. Probably should not. E, I think it's okay,
It could be a discussion though.
yeah.
So do I hear, we're making a motion to move B only into open?
I think B is okay.
Okay,
I don't think C should.
all right, so do I have a second to move B into open?
Second.
All right, so we have an approval of the agenda with the amendment of moving closed session item B into open as new business item
I'm
JK.
not gonna accept that as a friendly amendment though, so it would have to be, okay.
So first by Mindy, seconded by
I did
Jamie.
not,
Oh,
no.
I thought I heard a second.
No,
I'm sorry.
Shaking my head, no.
Okay,
So you don't have, what you have on the floor before you can do that is you had a motion that did not have a second.
correct.
You didn't make sure you put that in the.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I was asking for. Sorry.
It is already in the minutes as failed.
I know,
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
Now I've got a
that we're all-
motion by Mindy Zappa and seconded by question mark to approve it with closed item B, moving into open session as new business.
Item J.
J.
Is there a second for that? So we have a second by Amy.
Kimberly.
Kimberly, I did it too. Just, I know. How awful is that? I'm so sorry. Kimberly. Okay, all those in favor of moving B into new business K as our addendum to the agenda. All those in favor? I need to hear you guys say aye if
Aye.
you're in favor. And those opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
And I,
3, 4, and 2 against,
yes.
so that fails. Yes or no?
Well, that's out of the,
3 out of 5 would pass, would it not? But
that's our quorum for
4. 3 to 2,
3-2.
got it.
Okay. All right, so then we are going to move on to special appearances from Ryan. WIAA update. Could you come over, Ryan, just so that people could hear?
I contacted the WIAA to ask them a few questions that I was asked to get the answers to. I knew the answers, but Mel called me right back and said, you know, you have everything understood completely. Question number 1, can a school district sign a waiver allowing a player that would be a transfer athlete after the first 4 semesters to another school instant access to varsity at a new school without a change in residency, just open enrollment paperwork? From Mel Dow, no, the transfer rule would apply. A student who transfers not as a result of a full family move from the current school district to a new school district is restricted to non-varsity for 365 days.
Mhm.
Question number 2, what is the timeline for a cooperative agreement between 2 schools? A, to be WIA playoff eligible, B, to be conference eligible and not WIA eligible. Request for approval to add a cooperative team to the WIA competition must be received by the WIA by the following dates of the year before. Fall would be October 1st, winter would be February 1st, spring would be May 1st. Co-op agreements for football have different dates.
And that would put them at eligibility for conference and for
WIA,
state.
yes.
Okay,
Because WIA has nothing to do with conference.
Right.
Conference is 2 years out, just like the WIA, because the officials and the conference games, everything has been set already for next year. Next year's are all done.
right. So you gave the dates, like starting October 15th, but
That would be for the WIA.
that's 2 years, not
So
1
the
year.
October 1st would be for the
Next fall.
27-28, not the 26-27.
And that would be for volleyball, cross country, football's different, you said it's different.
Potentially would, because 8-man has a different timeline than 11.
Okay,
Sure.
okay.
So that timeline is different.
So then February 1st would be basketball, wrestling, I mean, wrestling should be,
Gymnastics,
hockey.
All hockey.
And then May 1st would be track, softball, baseball.
Right.
Okay. And so if we're looking at co-oping for 27, we need to get it in for, like basically to start putting them in now.
October 1st.
And that paperwork, that if you were looking at co-oping a varsity sport, you would have to contact the local schools and find somebody that would
Right,
be interested
okay.
in co-oping.
And so they have to have agreement between the 2 schools and then we both need to submit that
Yes.
to, does both athletic directors need to submit it or just one?
cooperative agreement would be.
Well, no, I know, I'm just saying, like, for when we send it to the WIA, is it both school districts need to send or whoever's heading that co-op?
Both school districts, like for softball and the rest of them, I need to do paperwork.
Okay.
On top of every school.
Okay,
And then the head of the co-op needs to be picked. And they have more work to do, like Webster does more work on their end, but every 2 years I have
yeah.
to sign a sheet.
Yeah.
And have, I believe Tom signed a sheet
Mhm.
for Katie, I don't remember, we just did one for
Yeah.
softball. Question 3, if a school district cuts a sport, can an athlete that wants to play that sport go to another school without a cooperative agreement? The answer from the WIA is no. A student must be a full-time student at the school they are participating to be eligible for high school sports. Eligibility is based on enrollment, not programming, academic or athletic school offers. Just that if we don't offer cross-country, we can't just let our kids go somewhere else to.
I feel like that was mentioned that we could. I mean, I don't know, it's probably something I feel like, and I could be wrong. I just thought recently, and I think that's why we're having you come.
Right.
So we
You
have
couldn't
stuff.
necessarily do it at the JV level, but
Yeah.
they couldn't participate at the varsity level.
Okay. Well-
And somebody asked me about cooperating JV teams and just not co-oping high school teams. That's a logistic nightmare.
Yeah.
Because where are you gonna practice? Who are you gonna practice? These guys go away, their JV's going away, or we co-op with Frederick. There's our JV girls, so now you don't get to play half varsity, half JV. It's a logistic nightmare to even consider doing that.
And then just since you're here, well, I know, I guess finish this. I do have another question before we fully wrap this up.
Okay, last question, can a school district force a co-op onto another district? The answer is no. Co-ops are shared service agreements between two schools. Both parties must be in agreement. So if we say we wanted to co-op basketball and Frederick, Webster, Grantsburg, Spooner, Shell Lake said, no, there's no option for us.
Does the WIAA have any suggestions for schools that have smaller numbers of participating students of what would they suggest
I
doing?
would say co-op or build your program from inside out.
Okay,
Because like Bruce, I think it was. No, Winter this year, the Winter Birchwood track team has one kid. Bruce wrestling, boys and girls had one kid. They still offered the sport at both of those schools for one kid.
Mhm.
So
So that's kind of falls into like my question. How does that work? Are they still like competitive eligible? Because I feel like there's been some comments about track or cross country. If we don't have X amount of
you have to have,
athletes, then we aren't able to compete in conference or they don't count.
it is, you have to be eligible, say, we'll use track as example. You have to participate in a minimum of 6 track events.
Okay.
So you.
at a meet.
Doesn't matter. how
You
many
could go to a meet, you could go to 6 different track events. And as a team, you would be eligible. Your team would be eligible for the WIA regional, sectional, state competition. There's a minimum number of scheduled events that a team has to have.
Individual meets or events at a meet.
As it, like, we'll say tracks, well, I'll just go back to the track example. Winter has one athlete. That is the track team.
Yeah.
They have to schedule minimum of 6 meets for that
Okay.
team
Okay.
Yeah.
to go.
Okay.
Now, I'll give you a different example. Say they had 2. One kid missed 3 of the 6 due to academic ineligibility. But was academically eligible when the regional participated. They still can participate because the team had 6 scheduled meets. There's not a minimum of meets. A individual has to meet,
Team.
but the team has to meet a minimum of.
Mhm.
Okay, because I thought someone said with cross country, even though we've had like 4 or 5 girls, they needed 6 to be a team. So even though we would do so well at a meet, they weren't able to like advance on because we weren't.
No, you
Qualified.
can be a track team of 1. Your team is never
Okay.
gonna qualify for the team portion of state.
Okay, maybe that
You
was,
can go as an
it was a-
individual, same as
individual.
wrestling. If
okay,
we would have 1 wrestler, they would go 52-0 and win the state title. That person would have to score that many points for the team to win the state. Like, the Washburn girl, Ava Washburn won the Webster track team title by herself that year. She had a first, and a second.
In her
She's-
different events.
She scored 38, and so her as an individual won the team.
Sure.
The other piece of information that I was asked to bring today was to pool this year's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 graders to see where their mind is in the fall.
Mm.
So of the people that I received information back from, we have 18 interested in high school football, 16 interested in high school volleyball, 3 interested in high school cross country. 15 of this year's 6th and 7th graders are interested in middle school volleyball. We had 12 interested in middle school football, but that does not include the 5th graders.
Mhm.
And I would assume that'd be another 5 to 6 kids, so they're 18-ish like our numbers.
We've never had the fifth graders. It'd be something
Well,
we'd be looking forward to.
next year would be 6th grade.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Because they couldn't answer
Mhm.
my
Gotcha.
survey because
Gotcha.
they don't get high school
Yeah.
emails.
That makes sense.
And we had 6 of this year's 6th and 7th graders said they would be interested in middle school cross country in the fall. Those numbers are not hard and fast, who comes, who goes, who changes their mind,
Right,
but those are the numbers
Rough.
that I was told.
okay.
I have a question about residency.
Yep,
So when the Bensons were here, they live in the Webster district. Did you specifically ask if they go back to their home district and it's
they made
not?
the choice.
That's
They
kind
made
of
the
what I
choice
thought.
to be here. So that was, so I looked into this also, say somebody moves from Hudson and they build a house. Dad gets a job, they build a house 1 mile down B. You have a one-time option, they don't have to go to Siren. They could go to St. Croix Falls if they wanted to, they
Right.
get a one-time option to choose their home district.
Okay,
But
Well-
for eligibility, doesn't have to be before your sophomore year if they've played varsity. So if they're like juniors or.
The non-varsity doesn't matter, it's 4 consecutive.
Well, that family's also fully moved. So that's not a great, cause like per WIA standards, if the whole family moves, then you're open eligible. It's more if you're moving locally.
Yeah, no, that's also not right, because it's a full family move, but why did the move happen? What constitute, there's 8,000 questions, like I had to file a whole appeal for one of our students this year. It goes down to, was the move work related? Was the move just because we wanted to move? If the move is because we just wanted to move and there's no reason that we have to sell, then, we just put our house up to rent and we're gonna rent here. WI
is-
doesn't like
But
that.
isn't there there's a free transfer, I think, before your sophomore year, as long as you haven't participated in any practice?
That,
That's what
I-
Mel had told me when I talked to him.
who?
Mel, WIA. And I should have re-asked him again.
State transfer, I know that's for an out-of-state transfer that we have done in the past, that they wanted to play softball and never played softball. I don't know, in Wisconsin,
Okay, he made it sound that like, if you're transferring, like your freshman year, obviously there's no waiver because you haven't played high school. He's made it sound like if you transferred before your sophomore year, you get like a one-time free transfer. It doesn't matter if you
That-
played varsity. And again, like we talked about stuff and I should have went back and got more clarification on that one.
eligibility, because like, say, go back to my other example, we're just gonna put up our house for sale or to rent, and we're gonna move here, we're just gonna rent.
Mhm.
But I've seen the WIA ask for paperwork and
Right.
said, sorry, you have to prove your house is on the market. Your eligibility will start as soon as your house sells. We're not gonna play this. We're gonna rent, we're gonna move, we're gonna try to skirt the rules of it, and which has happened in the past.
Right. Cause it's not even a form on their website. It's like submit a letter with proof and then they get to
Well,
read it.
it's a letter, like when I had to do the one we did earlier this year,
Yeah.
it's a letter from the parent, letter from the kid, letter from me.
Yeah.
Letter from, and then the extenuating circumstances, so we ended up submitting 7 letters and still getting denied.
Yeah. It's very objective. It's not just
Yeah.
answer these questions.
No, well,
and
nothing
algorithm says-
predetermined, like even if you apply now, you have to still be enrolled and taking classes. So nothing's decided until fall anyways. I mean, they may submit the paperwork, they'll look through it, but until you're actually currently taking classes, it's not.
Yeah, and the school year starts the first day, and I'll tell you another story, like, we had a student, this is a long time ago, 15, 18 years ago. That was gonna transfer, go live with mom out of state. Went, started football in Arizona, practiced 2 days down there, hated it, wanted to come back. his school year started the first day he showed up to practice. He came back, he was ineligible for 365 because his school year started the first day he met as a school district, was the first day of practice. So that is also
Yeah, and you said WIAA is separate from conference.
correct.
So is there the opportunity that the teams could come together and play just within the conference without any ranking for state level or?
Both have to give up their, you
Yeah.
can't, we can't, like, we'll just say Frederick, for example, we can't combine to play a conference schedule. And then,
Qualify for state stuff.
right,
But if both agreed that they just wanted to play at the conference level for a year or the 2 years it would take until the co-op is a,
can come through, that would be.
that is an option.
Right, cause
Okay.
that's happened north of us where
Good.
Drummond's had 6 kids, Birchwood's had, they both thought they were gonna have enough kids to start the year. They both got down to 6 kids for baseball. They said, okay, they called the WIA, said, we can't have a team. So they both opted out of the WIA playoffs, but they brought the 12 kids together to play a conference, to pick one of the 2 conference schedules.
And that could be
Just
figured
so-
out
just
in a
so
couple
the
of
kids
weeks.
could play baseball.
Great.
Well, in Amory, for some reason, for softball this year, they had a team. They must not have done well because they opted out of their playoff.
They ended up down to 7 kids.
Okay. Okay, I just saw that they'd opted
Yeah.
out, so it seems strange that they,
Need that.
okay, huh.
And then the last piece of information, our
Is he okay?
You're not feeling
I was gonna say, he doesn't look, he didn't.
volleyball, head coach volleyball nomination is rescinded her nomination. She is no longer interested. We will repost that position externally and internally. It's been still posted, but after she's pregnant and
Too
will have
early
a
on.
child during the school year or during the season, so her and her partner have discussed. So she is now sent it to me last night, said she is no longer interested in being a paid coach here.
Okay,
She still wants to help with the program as much as she can. So we will repost it in all the positions that we need, because it's already been posted in-house and out-of-house. To meet the requirement, I will repost it in both this week.
perfect.
She can't get it out.
Oh, I didn't see you come.
John's got it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Since you're
Fran.
here too, can we just, as you follow up with volleyball, can you just follow up with I mean, you don't have to say anything now, but just to for the basketball too? I know there hasn't really been direction, but I don't know if we're keeping it.
Question between Jamie and Tristan that I wasn't privy to because I'm not allowed in at the exit area.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
So that would be something that you may want to touch base with
Sure.
Jamie because it was determined years ago that I can't be in exit interviews due to the fact that for most of them, like I'm being equal to like John Root or other
Yeah.
teachers. So that would be a Jamie question. I
Okay.
don't know the answer to that.
yeah, okay. Thank you.
Right. Any other questions for Ryan?
So.
Thank you very much.
Yep, you're welcome.
Okay, we're gonna move on to accepting our monthly donation from our community supporting teachers group. So who was our winner and who did the donating this month?
So this month's winner for the community supporting teachers donation is Beth Peterson. And she has won a Visa gift card from Benson Law Firm.
All right. Well, thank you, Benson Law Firm, and congratulations to Beth Peterson. All right, next piece here, public comment. Do we have any? Okay, I'm gonna,
You need a motion for accepting. of-
no, we have not motioned them.
Well, we
because they're-
did last
Yeah,
month
we
for
did
some
last
reason.
month.
I don't know why. Yeah, I was,
It's in the minutes.
I saw
I'll make
that
a motion to
Okay.
approve the donation.
Second.
All right, motion by Polly, seconded by Corey. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. All right, so just before a public, yep, you can come on up.
yeah,
Yeah.
she needs to say,
The board has opted to have a public comment period at this school board meeting. Each commenter is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes for the commenter's remark. The period shall be limited to 10 individual speakers or extended for 30 actual minutes, whichever limitation permits the greater total number of speakers. Each commenter shall identify themselves by their name, place of residence, whether the commenter has a student currently enrolled in the district or is a staff person of the district. Comments must be directed solely to the board and or its designee and must not address other members of the audience during this part of the meeting. The board during the public comment period will not discuss agenda issues raised by the public commenter, but may discuss such agenda items at the conclusion of the public comment period. All individuals who comment during the public comment period are reminded that information provided this evening is intended to provide information to the board so that it can fulfill its role. In receiving public comment, the board encourages the commenter to engage in civil discourse that models character and ethical behavior. In that vein, all parties are reminded that all information offered be truthful and honest. False statements or stigmatizing charges may subject the individual making such statements to legal repercussions, including but not limited to defamation claims. Other specific procedures for public comment period not mentioned herein can be found on the board policy. Okay, I know. It's a mouthful every time.
First of all, I'm your friend.
Yes.
Here to support you. My name is Sid Houston. I live inside the district. I was on the school board for 9 years myself, so I know what a thankless job it is and how tough it is. But I've got some positive comments, I think. So.
Thank you.
Positive is that my children went kindergarten through 12 in this building and did just great. It prepared them for the world. I think a lot of Carson and then many of the other teachers did that were with them and it sucked. But I was on the school board back in the mid 90s and we were working with Webster to consolidate. We both had obsolete buildings. They had an old, before many of your time, I imagine, it was an old Pollynos. They had an old messy building right in the village there. And we were outgrowing our building here. So we agreed to consolidate. We put it to a vote and Siren people passed it, the Webster people did not. We were going to build a new campus up by the north of the government center. There's plenty of room up there and plenty of infrastructure. It just didn't work out. So they went ahead and they built their own building and we did an aggressive building here. We redid this with I can't quote the number of what we spent, but we did well. We built a new auditorium, a new gymnasium, a new elementary school and new commons area. It was good. It's been good. But that was 30 years now, it was before the tornado. And also, what I'm here today is to talk about the next round of consolidation. I'm encouraging you to talk to the neighbor districts and to look at that as an option. The state now has passed some new bills and they're in support of consolidation. They've got some funding set up for you get extra amount per student during the process. And they can see that it's inevitable in these areas, due to no one's fault here, but with the enrollment situation as it is, going down and down and the way that works. I would strongly encourage you to do. I think your voters have spoken that they not in favor of a referendum, just getting more money, trying the same thing and throwing money at it. You know, you got a good case there, but general public has spoken, I think. So I have some more. Well, in case you do get to the point with the consolidation, find some interested parties, and you ever have any community members that you want on that board, I would make you volunteer for it sometimes, because it's, you know, you can sit down, you can list I can list a bunch of pros, but you can also list cons, and there are people that are, you know, I've always been the Siren Dragon, I'm not gonna be merged and all, but if you look back in history, way back, the Unity High School is one where it was Milltown, Balsam Lake, and Century, 3 little schools, they formed together over 50 years ago when I was in school. And now even recently Birchwood Weyerhaeuser and many others across the state. So please consider that. And another one I saw, I've been studying a little bit on this, where they took one of it's not talking about abandoning the buildings. The buildings would still be used for elementary and for middle school and not necessarily build a new one. But one area took one of their vacant schools and made it into a trade school, which was really interesting, where it was electrical, plumbing, heating, air conditioning, IT, farming, whatever, many things like that for jobs in the future. Because there's certain jobs that are going to be taken over by AI, period. But like I tell my people, you're always going to need men and women to make the internet work. You're always going to need people to the electrical work to make the AI work, do the plumbing so you got water and such. So Anyway, that's my whole comment. Please, I'm sure you do, you have an open mind about it, but look at merging and consolidation, at least talk about it. 'Cause I'm not gonna name names, but there's other school districts that are having similar challenges that you are.
Yes.
So was that my 3 minutes or?
Yeah, thank you very much, Sid.
But you do that opening statement on every public
Yep,
comment?
it has to get read before every public comment. I've only had to read it twice.
Well, not every, just, yeah, every meeting we have public comment, so.
Okay, well,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thanks, Sid.
Yeah, I have more questions, but can't ask. Another one?
Yep,
You want me to stand or you want me to sit?
whatever you're comfortable with.
Sit.
Okay.
Okay. My name is Thomas K. Wallace. I have a place on Lower Clam Lake. I reside in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. District number 11, the largest school district in District 11. I've been up here for 19 years. I retired from nurse anesthesia just about 2 years ago, and I started subbing here in Siren. For one thing, the Siren teachers I work with, which is K all the way up to 12, are doing a fabulous job with what they have to deal with. You don't cut your teachers short. I come from an area that had lots and lots of problems with school district. We seem to find a way to get rid of them. Number one, we need the money for the students. I've been to school many years, more than probably half you guys combined have been to school. That's how many years I got in school. That's why my wife said, you're not going after your PhD, which I'm 6 credits short of, because all she knows is that I've been in school most of my adult life, that I've been married 40+ years. With that said, when a referendum came out, there's a number of school board members, with the exception of 2, that did not express their considerations of what they thought of the referendum. That's wrong. If you're on the school board, you should be in support of the students and the referendum to give them the teaching people that they need to succeed. And if you can't, do what we did back in District 11, we booted them off. Plain and simple. If you can't, if you're not there for the students, then who are you there for? I don't know. Don't know. I've been in elected office with our homeowners association for many years. I've been there. I've done substitute teaching since I've been 19 years old for class when I was in full-time school. I substitute teach it for multiple years for that. I did some VOTEC teaching after I was out of the trades. And I did a lot of teaching doing in nurse anesthesia. Myself and one of my coworkers were in charge of 33 students every year for 15 years, ICU nurses, which I grant you are a little bit more motivated than some of the students here. We brought them into the field of doing safe anesthesia. You don't think that's a challenge? Come walk in my shoes. Put that in for you. But we have to have everybody on board on the board that says, yes, we need the referendum to pass. And you, Polly, you are supposed to be a special ed teacher. You know the difference between having enough people to teach students adequately versus having 30, 35, 40 kids. My grandmother was an educator in 2nd grade for 44 years up in New York Mills, Minnesota. My mom was a 2nd grade educator. I got multiple brothers-in-law and sister-in-laws that are teachers back home. They all say when you get over 30 kids, forget it. You get over 20, you can educate them. But that was before we got all the disciplinary problems that we have, because the mom and dads expect us to solve their problems. We can't. The problems start at home. They have to resolve that. So up here, how many people are gonna push for a new referendum and try to get things solved? Right now, I don't see nothing trying to be solved. I've seen the last gentleman that just spoke had some great ideas. And that is absolutely, AI is not gonna solve the world's problem. Does it create problems? It creates a whole boatload of problems. All you have to do is read a paper. How many papers do I get? I get 7 newspapers at my place. Is that a little bit overboard? No, I like to read because I don't hear for
the hearing aids, you can ask Mr. Tillman about that. But you have to read to understand, and anybody that says they get all their information from social media, really, are you kidding me? Social media should be outlawed for all kids. I do not have a social media account. My daughters do. They read some of the stuff that's get put out there, and she said, you wouldn't believe the stuff that I read. So I had her so it for the last 6 months. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, but if you just want to see yourself on social media when you're driving your car down the road, excuse me. I can show you what happens when that happens. It's $375,000 on my wrist. I tried to stop and I could not stop because she decided she had to stop. Do you have any questions for me?
No, thank you very much for your comments.
Yes.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Seeing none. All right, we'll move on to the treasurer's report. So we've had an opportunity to look through this. This is a newer process for us as CISA is helping us navigate this now as our consulting financial advisor. So we don't have the direct ability to ask questions during this process, but we have the opportunity to send them ahead of time.
You tried to answer some of your questions, see if I would.
Does anyone have anything else they want to?
I guess I just have a question
on.
with, I mean, not really speak on, but just kind of put it out there with the playground. Like, I personally feel like it's probably not something we're gonna vote on now, but if we're not gonna spend the money on the playground, I think we just put it back on the loan. So I mean, how soon do you feel like we're gonna make a motion on that?
The contractor is going to be out in June to revisit the grass piece. So we still have a retainer with them of $15,000 to pay them for work done. But we have held off on it until we assure that the grass is all where it needs to be and growing in.
So is this 76,000 with the retainer or without?
We would pay the 15,000 out of that 76,
so
and
it's
then
not-
that
okay.
would be what is left.
When you say retainer, I feel like they already have that money. Or is
No,
that a-
we held
okay.
it as a
Okay, so
retainer
it's
to
part
them.
of this. Okay.
Yep,
So possibly July that there may be a vote to.
right. Yep.
close
Once
this
we
and put-
decide that the ground looks the way that we want it to, and we're willing to finish paying them for their work.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion by Jamie, seconded by Corey. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? All right. My correspondence. So I did want to let everyone know that we did look into mics for the sound here, and the systems that we have already at the school would not be adequate for this room and work out anything from the auditorium kind of a deal. And buying a new system was quite expensive. So we're going to work hard on projecting our voices out. And we have also tended to talk over one another when conversation gets going. So I'm going to ask that we all try to be as polite as we can, and we'll try to put a stop to the talking over if we find ourselves doing that. I wanted to also make note of some upcoming WASB trainings. So those of you that are new, if you haven't logged into your WASB account, there is a legal and legislative update that's done each month. June 17th at noon is the next one. It is live streamed. You'll get email updates for it, and then it's recorded for later. July 10th and 11th in Stevens Point is the summer symposium of information. They'll be talking about AI, school safety, finance, policy, among other things. So if people were interested in going to that, we could look at figuring that out. And then there's always complimentary online library of videos that you can watch. If you like a gamified system, you earn points through them for watching videos, kind of keeping up on a continuing education like piece. So there's legal and legislative, roles and responsibilities of the board, how to run effective meetings, lots of really good stuff in there. So dig around in that as well. That is what I had.
Can I comment?
Yep.
If you're done. So with you bringing up the WASB, I was thinking about this. I know last year it was mandated that right after we had new members join, that we had them come here for a training in the month of May. So I kind of assume we didn't do that this year because of cost. However, you're now saying there's money for us to potentially
Well-
attend July training. So I'm just trying to understand why it wasn't mandatory for them to come here again this May.
That would be something, I think that's something Tom set up, was to choose to have that. I'm not saying that there are funds available, but through our board annual meeting, the decree that we say, it does say we will support online or continuing education for ourselves, going to that state conference, and this would be included. Now, the others are free.
Yeah. the online ones are all-
Yeah, they're all free. The Stevens Point, there is a fee towards that. It hasn't been like stricken out that we're not going to do it. But I think we all, much like we decided to freeze our salaries, just said, we're not going to send someone this past January down to the state conference. We can talk about it if someone is absolutely interested, they found some programming that they really think would be beneficial. We can most certainly look at it as a group and decide if we think it's worthwhile. Okay,
Is it okay if we get back to you tomorrow on his reports?
Yes.
We compile an email? Would that be?
I think that's what we're gonna have to do. So
Is-
Kevin,
It's,
Do you want to talk, Corey, about
Yeah, are
the
you able-
partnership?
I don't know exactly what Dr. Scheller had planned. I will comment briefly, I guess, on the class sharing portion. We received an email from, I sent out an email last week to the superintendents of both Webster and Frederick. Both of them have gotten back to me. Frederick seems very, very eager to meet. They brought it up to their board end of last week and sent out some potential dates to meet, or that they would like to have a whole board sit down. And then Webster got back to us, and Webster said that they would like a little bit more information on what we're thinking about the agreement to look like before we sit down and have a group board meeting.
okay.
After we met with Frederick, maybe we'd have a better idea of how to put that together for Webster.
Well, that was kind of my idea, and I didn't wanna rush in. I was hoping to get on the committee of the whole for next month and get some insight from you guys, but I think it would be good to meet with Frederick and kind of maybe lay the groundwork with them. I think, more minds together on it versus us coming with a list of ideas and them catching them kind of off guard.
Are you interested in proposing a meeting for June, separate from the cow? Or would you like to talk about it in the cow first and then propose a meeting in July?
I did not have, I was hoping Dr. Scheller would lead the table on this one. Honestly, they sent me out a long list of dates that work for their school.
Are some starting in June or?
Yes, both
Okay.
end of June and July.
is that mostly their board, that dates that work for their board or their administration?
I believe both.
And how does that work for us? I mean, Carrie, I know you can't speak for Kevin, but when are you guys are you able to meet? Would it be a Zoom? Because I know some of you work remotely in July.
Or
I would be willing to come in.
And we can use Zoom if people can't.
I would think probably the sooner the better.
Do you want me to
Yeah.
list off the dates that Frederick spit out?
I don't know if we need to list them right here, but could we start an email process of, do you want to put an email out to everyone so that we can get a meeting set for June, and then
We
it
can't
would,
reply to it though.
we can reply. So I've looked into the open or the walking forum, kind of the legality of it. And if we're using language like, for your information,
Okay.
please review before the next board meeting instead of, how do you feel about this?
Okay.
I'm in favor of this. Then we're not having a walking quorum. We are getting information out. We can still avoid reply all if that feels somewhat safer. But if one person starts an email out to everyone, like, here are these dates we're looking to meet. It's purely informational. It can have attached to it also information. And it could say something like, please review before the next town meeting or board meeting. And we're not doing any discussion about it. That
I
makes sense?
will
Okay.
gladly put an email out to everyone to, I guess, further elaborate on the business sponsor. I had Dr. Shetler reach out to legal to see what the.
Oh. Yes, I have some info on that then.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
it is.
We'll keep, yeah.
Yeah, so I reached out to him, or I asked Dr. Scheller to reach out to legal, see if there's anything that is wrong or against policy or against the rules for businesses to sponsor certain trainings for teachers or students or anything of the sorts, like the science program in robotics, if a plumber wanted to sponsor him to get the sewer robotics
Yeah.
certification.
So legal, Kevin spoke to me briefly about this. And as long as the company cannot pay for the salary and benefits for the teacher, but they could pay for the supplies or the certification or training piece, that would be okay. And we would accept the donation, much like More for Kids donated the robots. So that came as a donation of robots for the school to use. We could also accept the donation of funds for a specific training certificate or other classroom supplies. Yep.
That was about it.
Okay.
Thanks, Corey.
All right. So then, yeah, if Kevin has anything else that he wants to wrap up with, we'll get an email from him tomorrow. If he's feeling better, principal reports. So.
I just attached the course schedule for the middle school and high school. Just so you could kind of see what's still in draft form right now. But just so you have it as a reference at least. We'll probably use it in our closed session meeting tonight, so I just wanted you guys to have that.
Thank you. I have a question. So, and I'm pretty sure, so I'm seeing this right. For Morris teaching for second and third hour, both, well, for second and third hour anyways, this fall, it's a cap at 12, or it's a cap at 14 students.
For field.
And there only can be juniors or seniors.
Mhm.
So that just seems very minimal, like having
It's a
one.
transport
It's a
issue.
transfer.
I know, I just didn't realize it was like 2 hours. I thought he was gonna do second hour 14, third hour 14, so it's 28 students we're accommodating.
This is how this
not-
one's always.
I mean, I
been
get it, but it's like a disservice, I feel like, to our students, because I don't even feel like with these numbers that you're able to get all high school into these science classes.
done. Do we know how many are interested in field biology right now?
I mean, I appreciate what he's doing.
7 have signed up for field biology, so we haven't come close to meeting the cap number on it yet.
We have for 1 hour or 1 period, but.
No, it's full, it's both, it's total, it's one class, 2 periods,
Okay.
17 total.
14 total,
yeah.
so 7 students have signed up for that 2-hour period, so
Okay.
we have enough room.
But is that
7.
because if they were to take that 2-hour period, they'd have to give up something else they need for graduation? Because it's a 2-hour?
Hard for me to say that.
That would be individual per student on what they would need.
Yeah. I mean.
Well, if they need high school PE to meet graduation, that's only second hour. If they like choir, that's second hour, so they couldn't take that class. I mean, again, I know this is difficult to plan, but like, as I look into this, I mean, I think this just goes to show we really need to hire another science teacher, what we've been saying. Obviously, it's out of our hands, it's gonna get posted, but we can only hope that we get another science teacher. I mean, I appreciate extremely much what Morris has been doing, but this is very concerning, and it's probably what Kim was referencing, because I haven't seen it, so.
Well, I mean, they'd have the option of doing a sport potentially to filling their PE requirement, right? Can they do?
Well, they have to do 3, you have to be in at least 2 sports, and parents have to sign up. You
Right.
can't just do 1, you have to be in 2. And I don't know if that's just per season or per school year, or if that's multiple,
But that would
so.
be an option, but it does cross over with choir.
One potentially creative lit, modern lit. I mean, those are also 11th, 12th grade classes, second hour, Brit lit, American lit. I mean, there's also, those are when the high schoolers have their English classes as well as 6 hour, but if they're planning to leave at lunch, which a lot of junior seniors do, and I get, that was a conversation saying they don't need to, but again, it's,
Creative lit, modern lit, Brit lit, and American lit. Brit lit and American lit for sure are electives. And I believe so is creative lit and modern lit. But don't quote me on any of this because I'm like
Learning.
14 days into.
Yeah.
It's
So
And if they were super interested in a literature course, they have the potential of choosing an online option or doing dual credit and doing it during a study hall as well.
I get it. I just feel like the more you, I mean, this is me being honest, the more you push online, I feel like parents are just hearing, should I just have my kid do it online at home?
It's hard. It's always going to be hard because of the size of the school that we have. I mean, even if we hired another teacher and we put some science biology classes in the afternoon, then there's going to be afternoon classes that the students would potentially miss out on as well.
So currently I have numbers. Which she only has, Montana only has 36 scheduling sheets back from the 9 through 12, I believe.
Okay.
So 8 in bio, field bio 7, AP bio 8, Anat and Phys 2, and robotics 1.
So they may be choosing to do those other classes over taking the science classes as well for electives.
I just hope we're making sure that they're meeting their requirements for science and whatever that they need, because obviously that needs to be cross-referenced. I'd hate for a junior, senior to think they have whatever they need to graduate and they're leaving early to come to find out, because I had classmates that had this come to find out a week before graduation that you have not met. And I get Montana's probably just a reminder that making sure that we're following through on our due diligence and make sure that the students are meeting.
He meets with every student.
And did
For
I can answer
scheduling.
that. Within the first, she doesn't necessarily meet with every student when they make their first schedule. But by the senior year, she meets with every student at the beginning of the year to make sure where everyone's at. Make sure they all know exactly what classes they have to have, what hour, what classes we can offer them since they have the classes they already have. Every year, first quarter, she meets with every senior. She has the last 3 years, well, since she's been here. So
I do it with my juniors and seniors and starting to go down to sophomore.
Yeah. And I feel like at some point we also had a discussion that possibly doing a little bit more of a parent meeting at the beginning, was that 8th grade? So as the kids are transitioning into 9th grade, having more of an orientation of some kind so that the parents are a little bit more
Yeah. that's what
aware of what's
Montana
going
and I
on.
talked about
Yes.
after the scheduling.
Isn't that
Right.
part of 9th grade orientation?
I don't know.
I want to think we had somebody every single year that would go through your credits and what you would need for the following year to make sure you didn't fall short.
But I think it was more inviting the parents to
Yeah.
come so that the parents can be more aware and it's not.
It's just like 5th grade transition, 6th grade orientation, like we used to have 5th grade transition night this time of the year to talk to parents about what the kids are going to expect come fall. And then when fall or late summer happens, you have 6th grade orientation. And then you either have 8th grade graduation or you have 9th grade orientation for that same group. So they're following through with, and I believe most of the 9th grade schedule should be done because I think the 8th graders have had to do it per the 8th graders I've talked to. But maybe that's not in the system.
To any of that.
I don't know.
I can't speak to the, at 9th grade orientation, they go through the schedule and say,
Yeah.
you're gonna need 1.5.
Yep.
FIEDs.
Been there, done that, had kids here 15 years now,
And
so.
that's a lot of information at that meeting, but it's definitely something that they do or have.
It's in the handbook as well, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, so that it is a written
It's
document.
actually a written document as well, but so every year in the fall at 9th grade for orientation. And there's a slideshow that Carrie will get, that'll have all those things in it, they'll just need to update the classes, so.
Jamie did the 6th grader, the incoming 6th graders in the fall last year. So I was just following suit with what she had done in the past.
And that's how-
Sophia's group had a fifth grade transition night.
We have transition afternoon.
Right, we did both. We had it with the parents when Sophia was going into sixth grade.
Okay.
We had it in an
Last
evening.
year, she said that she had done it in August, so that kind of was my plan, especially since they'll be self-contained.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I know we did too. That's what I was, but it's fine.
Well, this
I mean,
is great opportunities for us to reinvigorate things that we've maybe done in the past or can adjust the things moving forward. But I think we all are in agreement that having a little bit more parent involvement so that they do we're not hearing it through our kids as what the next steps are, as that is a non-reliable game of telephone sometimes. Okay. Any other questions on the course scheduling that we've got currently? All right. Position openings.
So this is just so that you guys know kind of what's going to be posted in-house tomorrow morning. Just because I'm trying to keep ahead of all the things.
Well, I think you need to add a volleyball coach now as well as, so there's no elementary or the phy ed teachers not on here. There's no science on here.
So the science, it sounds like, I'm gonna clear that up. When we spoke at our last cow, we talked about adding a science when we had gone over that information from Brad and he encouraging that we have it. The schedule, this draft schedule was already done at that point in time with all the classes that needed to be in there. And so we could move forward with what we have now. It would be great to have another science teacher, as it would many other course places, but out of bare bones necessity, we have what we need to function like this with this course offering. All the spots are filled.
Yeah, but I'd like to get on and posting that probably in January and just kind of keep bringing it to the top. And we can, and so that we can start hiring another person based on, you know, where Brad is at and what he's kind of planning to. I haven't had a chance.
In
to talk to him.
January?
Because we know that Brad
Just
will likely
start-
leave. You know, he's already retired.
So
So
what,
if
if
we
we're
wanna,
gonna do it in January, what's wrong with doing it now?
if we did it now.
I mean, so the thing is right now, we know what we have. So the what is this called? Whatever this is done, this is what we're gonna go through, the schedule for fall, like this is what it's gonna look like.
Mhm.
Adding a science teacher is only, if we end up hiring one, if we posted hire, it's only gonna modify this and add potential classes like chemistry and classes that we are not currently offering. So I'm not clear at all why we're waiting till January. It's a great, like if we don't get someone this fall, absolutely repost it in January. But what's this hesitation to wait to post it till January?
If we hired a full-time teacher, I believe we would be asking our current science teacher then to not have that contract.
No, because we said we could have 1.5. I don't, and the same thing, like we've changed so much of what we put out there already that we were gonna change with the referendum. It's constantly ebbing and flowing and changing. So I don't know.
I thought it was 1.5.
I
as well.
don't understand how
Yeah.
we're the board. We can modify and change things. Morris isn't gonna lose his position unless he comes to us and wants to lose it, or we make some change with that. Nothing in writing that I've seen dictates that Morris would be out of position if we hire a
Well,
full-time.
we also have the potential still for the other person that was teaching science that may be willing to get the certifications that they need. So that's Brad's position at a 0.8. Is that what he's at right now?
0.5, isn't it?
0.5. 0.5. And the other person is in the 0.5. So if we hired another, if that worked out, that getting those certifications for that other teacher, and we hired another person, now we have a total of 2.0 for the FT.
Okay, we're looking at hiring a teacher who already has all their certifications. No offense to the one working on it. I appreciate that and no disrespect whatsoever. But again, are they gonna be able to teach chemistry? Are they gonna be able to meet the needs that we have currently? Because my understanding would be no. Can one of you answer that?
Yes, she is not wanting to get her science degree, so.
Okay.
That's kind of why I needed to talk to you guys a little bit and see where I'm headed later on and kind of figure things out
Yeah, this is probably more a discussion for being enclosed where we can discuss it and
But we have the ability moving forward. Chemistry is the one class that is not being offered next year that was offered this year. We have the ability to offer it through Ingenuity. Are there any students right now? Because there were 4 signed up this year for chemistry.
what about
Is that something that could be added in with the class sharing with a different?
Potentially, it could be a class sharing piece.
what's the what is it and not and
Isn't an ad?
yeah, that's not, that was
EMP.
offered last year. Is that offered this
Yeah.
year?
AMP? It's
Who's
under
teaching it?
Brett.
Where? Oh, right here.
Yes,
So it's gonna be 4th hour next semester.
second semester.
So there are currently 2 students who have turned in their schedules that want chemistry.
Sorry to, I
No,
don't mean to.
Mhm. And if all the stars aligned, we would get a math teacher with a chemistry or science minor. Or opposite, a science degree with a math minor. And that would solve many a problem potentially in our scheduling piece. So, there could be a fix for science as the math teacher potentially gets hired depending on their certifications and degrees.
Yeah, can you get, with a minor, can you get a teaching degree? Cause I don't believe you can. A teaching license.
Cobalt had both of these degrees, right? And one was a minor, and I just don't remember which way it was.
I don't want to answer that question.
Yeah.
I can tell you that I believe that when you have a minor, you have to have a certain thing. Because Jill has a math minor, she never did get licensed, but she could have been licensed to teach high school math.
Okay.
Oh.
But
So it's not like a dual, if you get one teaching license, it doesn't just dual with your minor?
So often I don't want to be quoted saying anything that.
Hmm.
they're-
Yeah, I don't know.
That's, so is that just because you have to do an internship per like degree minor?
Yeah, you'd have to.
Cause I just feel like if you get a teaching degree and you have this major and this minor, you could, for me, I can do either because I have a minor and a major. I can do whichever one. Of course, I'm not a teacher, so.
At the high school level,
Huh.
it seems that they are more specific in the area that they are teaching,
In the content.
in the content area, yeah. So,
Interesting.
And then FIAD's not on there, and there seems to be a lot of confusion about the FIAD piece because it was posted as a full-time FIAD, not as a full-time teaching position, but half-time FIAD. Do you remember this discussion?
Say it again.
Okay, we wanted to hire somebody full-time, which would open up the candidate pool,
Correct.
right? But it's posted as a full-time FIAD teacher, which is not what they would be.
Correct.
Okay, so there's a lot of communication and some angry people in this building about that.
Okay.
So can we clarify that in the posting?
Um,
Because the posting went out on Facebook 5 days ago or something. And I started hearing about it a couple days ago, that people are like, this position was already cut to halftime. Why does it say full-time FIAD?
Right.
And I've said it's not a full-time FIAD teacher.
right. I can go in and change that tomorrow on weekend and out and about.
And I also think it's not really fair to somebody applying for a full-time FIAD teacher and then be told, oh, it's really half-time.
Well, it's definitely not fair for a current FIAD teacher to not take a position because it was halftime and now we're hiring full-time either. I mean, that was part of the reason our current staff was resigning because it was halftime.
Oh, no, she had talked about that before.
Well, and then I don't understand why now the new one, we're asking for adaptive PE when we've had one for 5 years, not
And we haven't.
allowing her to do anything with it.
Just a check. I just checked the boxes on those.
But the way it's worded is like, we are seeking someone
Yeah.
to do adaptive PE, but we've had someone and she's not been allowed to do it.
She's been allowed to do it. She hasn't had the time scheduled to do it because we are now combining into one class per grade level. So she hasn't had the time in her schedule because we were having 2, and then every year we had 3 teachers in 3rd grade, 4th grade, and then 5th grade, or not 5th grade, I guess,
Yeah.
but yeah, 5th grade.
Yeah.
So She just didn't have time in her schedule.
But it's something she had wanted to do.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so when her and I talked in January, which I had reported to you guys too, that she was thinking about the halftime position. But if she could have it as full-time and that she could include more of that adaptive PE in there too. So she just prefers to be at home right now with her babies and so she resigned.
Okay, so are we looking for we're not looking for a motion to approve these postings, like they're already happening.
Correct.
But we do need to make sure as we continue moving forward with watching this list that we have the full-time position that is a halftime PE and other, what is the halftime in there? And then the volleyball coach. Is there any?
Well, science.
And then we have to, well, do you want to post for the science teacher now? And
I think yes.
Can we keep rolling with tonight and talk a little bit more in closed about some of
Sure.
the pieces that,
of people that may do some moving and shaking?
if we could,
Okay.
and then, after we come out of closed, if you guys want to talk about it, but I
What-
can't
Right,
feel
no,
like
right.
my hands.
I do have one more thing that I think we can discuss in public because it's on our minutes from last meeting. Katie, you went on record to inform the public that these teachers were resigning and we were not hiring X amount of staff. And now we are currently hiring 4K. We are currently hiring second grade. But if you look back at the minutes from last meeting, you specifically said not hiring, not hiring, not hiring.
Because
But I just
in-
feel like we need
Yeah.
to make that clear with the public.
Sure.
Because it's very, I mean, I know things are changing
Right.
constantly, but it's
So there were some positions, I believe first grade maybe would be a good example where a teacher chose to resign and we had one teacher then left in first grade. And now that one teacher has moved to another position by their own request. And now that opens up first grade. So we are not replacing the second position, but the position that has since opened since those resignations happen. So still
And then with
one.
Weller moving.
Yes, and some
Second
to
to
third
third.
grade. So then the teachers moved around. So we are still gonna have one elementary grade teacher at each grade level. But some of them have
Yeah.
moved into the
Yeah.
positions that were gonna be open.
Because I think we talked about that and that's part of our upcoming here, right?
Mhm.
In open, in the new business is kind of talking through, maybe
Yep.
not. No, not, but we talked about that at the cow.
Yeah. And some of that didn't need any board approval because those people can choose to move into those positions that are there. Any other pieces on positions? All right, we'll continue to watch for postings and hope that we get some really great applicants for the positions that we have available. Wrap up of the school year.
Sorry. So wrapping up the school year, I wanted to give a shout out and kudos. Graduation was wonderful and successful and memorable evening. I had a hard time with graduation.
Mhm.
If you were there, I had a hard time with it, but it was amazing. Also a huge shout out to our music department for an amazing, wonderful elementary spring concert. And that's kind of it. We have field trips coming up still. We have field day. We've got pre-K graduation. And then we have our celebrate the 250th anniversary for America on the 28th.
Can I add something?
Yeah, absolutely.
ADP graduation was wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
We graduated 2 students. Sorry.
Read your agenda.
Well, but ADP graduation is something that I really, really think is important. I'm glad that we're doing it. I hope we keep doing
Absolutely.
it. There's next, but I just wanted to make sure I talked about that. I didn't want that to get missed tonight. That's
Excellent.
a very important situation thing that we're doing.
I want to say the Memorial Day program yesterday was amazing as well. Thank you for emceeing that, and I thought it was great.
Bef-
Sorry.
Before we move on, I just want to put a little, with Carrie mentioning that the field day is June 3rd. Miss Basie did mention to me that if any of us board members want to help her out with field activities, she would take our help. It's from 1 to 3, Wednesday, June 3rd. I told her I would pass on the message, so.
1 to 3.
Yeah, 1 to 3. Maybe just shoot her a message or just show us and with some water balloons or something.
I could probably help out with that. I'm sure bring some feral children.
Okay. Excellent. Carrie's gonna continue on with the special ed updates as well. Denise was in a meeting with students,
And
IEP. Okay.
okay, don't ask me questions because I don't know. Finishing up new evaluations and IEP paperwork, including 2 from birth to 3. 4 graduates this year, 1 ADP graduate this year. Caseload planning for next year. Elementary 22 students, middle school 22 students, and high school 22 students. We have speech and language students in there with a primary disability, and it looks like that's 10. And then speech and language students who receive related services, there are 26. Early childhood, we have 2. And numbers may change pending in-process evaluations and pending referrals.
So you said 22 elementary, 22 middle school, and how many high school?
22.
Okay, and those, the speech kids are added into those numbers? You don't know?
I
Okay,
have this.
okay.
You can have it.
Thank you. I need to get it in the minute.
All right. Any other pieces on that? Okay. Our Native American report, graduation.
Graduation. 10 graduates total. We had 8 through the regular graduation ceremony, and then we had 2 with the ADP ceremony. Super proud of all of our kids. I feel like the meetings that we've been doing, that kind of stuff, I didn't have any panic moments with any of my students this year, which was great. And that makes it our 10th year with 100% graduation for those students. We had a flip in the middle of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice job.
Full
Congratulations.
disclosure, we, I count when kids start the school year. Those are our graduating cohorts. So in the past, we have had a kid who, second semester decided to come back and they didn't graduate in time. So I just wanted to be completely clear.
Oh, okay.
But, other than that, if you look up on YSASH, you'll see 100% for Native students, which is
That's us.
kind of, great.
Excellent.
25% above, not 25, 20% above the state average. So, yeah, I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, you should be proud.
Thank you,
you.
Tara.
All right. All right, so approval of minutes. I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes from April 27th.
Make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Corey from, who was down there?
Me.
I had one
Mindy.
correction in there.
Mindy.
On D, health insurance renewal and increase, it has passed 7-0. But I abstained from voting on that because I carry school insurance.
Sorry, where are we? In new business?
D,
D.
on the regular school board minutes.
I think it had said that, no? Oh, okay.
No,
I
On the
remember.
bottom it said, okay.
Okay, and then so it's 6-1 or you?
I abstained.
6-0 abstain.
Got it.
So I have
Thank you.
comments too. Hold on, let me just go back to make sure this. So, for public, there was not a Roger Benson, it was Ryan Benson.
Hang on a second.
I don't know who Jen Bird is, so hopefully that name was correct, but Ryan Benson.
And Benson, mine says Ryan, where are you?
Mine says Roger.
Mine says Roger as well.
Mine says Ryan.
Public on the top,
Regular school board meeting.
yes, on the top,
Public.
where you write down public.
The name.
Yes.
Thank you. Name. I see it.
Okay,
Oh,
Yeah, thank you. I got it.
just, yeah, and then just bear, okay, so that was the monthly, and then I just want to double check my notes before I comment on, I have a few other things. I'm just double checking.
Still on regular with
Yeah,
you?
we're still on
Yes,
regular.
yes. So back to. Or maybe it was the other one. What am I looking at? Okay, so Katie, I already addressed those things before. And then at the end, other motions made. So at the end, I don't believe anybody left, but all of a sudden everything went to 6-0 instead of 7-0. Past 6-0, past 6-0. And that said Polly
Kelly
abstained.
Kelly left in the.
Yeah.
In close.
Okay, did that get referenced?
It usually does. Did I miss it?
I did not see it, but again, it could be in here and I just did not see it. Cause yeah, I had gone back. It was not. So that's what I couldn't remember if Kelly, if someone had left and I didn't see it. So that's why I was confused.
No worries.
Okay. I'll get
Anything
that
else?
Fixed.
Okay, so now we're gonna motion to accept the minutes with the changes of Polly abstaining from the insurance vote, changing Roger to Ryan, and assuring that Kelly was listed as leaving the closed session early. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, that passes. All right, Committee of the Whole minutes, looking for an motion to approve the May 18th
I'll
minute.
make that motion.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that passes. All right, we're going to move on to new business. Dan gave us a written report. I'll just read it through so that everyone can hear it. The boiler project began May 18th and it will last approximately 2 to 3 weeks to get those boilers replaced. We can look at increasing our new roof warranty from 20 years to 5 years through the manufacturer. What? Yeah, as long as we have it inspected by the installer, which is Paul Sheet Metal. That inspection cost would be $200 per year. So it doesn't look like we're paying for an additional warranty. We're just paying for the inspection portion.
That's correct.
And then any issues are sent back to the manufacturer and they should do it. Now, this does say the deadline to approve or deny it was May 25th, which was yesterday.
Oh, that was supposed to say 26.
26th. Okay, so we,
I'm so used to the fourth Monday when I.
Yep.
I just did.
so we'll have to make a decision on that, tonight.
He was hoping you'd decide tonight, let
Yeah.
me know in the morning.
The smell in the elementary school has not come back. There was a leak over the elementary office, but it was not a leak from the roof. It was from the boiler when they shut them off, so condensation on the pipe. And they are going to work with Total Mechanical, which are the people installing the boilers, to address that leak. It sounded like he said, say this maybe at the cow, like this has happened before in the past, but this was more than it's normally been. So we need to just have a discussion then on the roof warranty. And do we want to go ahead and pay $200 per year, which would extend our warranty from 20 years to 25 years?
So we'd pay $1,000 to add 5 years, is that?
I think we would pay $200 per year for the 20 years and then for the 25 years total. Because we're gonna pay it every single year. Like if we miss paying it, then I would think the warranty may
So we're gonna
not
pay for
happen.
20 years.
It should be, isn't it just 200 for the additional 5 years?
That's what I
It
thought.
should
Why
already-
would you
if it-
pay?
We're going to pay, we're not paying for a warranty. We are paying for an inspection to happen every year. And as long as we have the roof inspected, they will warranty the roof out an additional 5 years.
But they want.
So it's like-
$200.
Right, it's like, your ring at the jeweler and they're like, well, we'll take care of it, but you have to bring it in and clean it every 6 months or whatever, kind of a thing. I don't know what the ROI would be on this, unless we have an issue that comes up on the.
Well, and then how much of the roof is this? Is this the whole roof? Is this only a fraction of the roof? What part of the roof is this? Because this roof is in multiple sections.
They redid
Is it only what
All,
they
it's
did?
what they just did. Well, and there's 7 sections to the roof and we did 5 of them. I believe we did 5 of the 7 so we got as much of the roof as we possibly could on the same cycle when we redid this roofing. So they would come out and inspect everything for $200 a year. It would have been nice to have some ideas from Dan on the cost of what some repairs have been in the past prior to,
Well,
the
and then
repair.
are they gonna cover, they're just coming to inspect, so they're not that $200 isn't gonna, if something's wrong and they need to
Is that how much
if
of the
it-
repair.
right, so then if something's wrong, Paul Sheet Metal goes, hey Carlisle, we did the inspection, we found this problem, it's a warranty issue, you're gonna fix it.
Do you
Is
have
it
to
for
pay that
sure a
inspector
warranty
to get
issue?
cover that warranty on their product, or can you
Yeah.
hire an outside?
No, it says specifically we need to have the installer, which is Paul Sheet Metal, come out and do that. For $200 a year, and then it would be an addition. So right now, we're covered for 20 years. We already have a warranty, but if we want 5 more years, we need to pay $200 for the entire 25 years.
25 years.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Construction
I'm not
Man,
bad,
what's,
but
I'm also thinking of what the lifetime span of the roof is. I mean,
is it a flat roof, isn't it?
it is all flat roof. They did remove, for those of you that weren't here during the project, as many of the vents and non-usable items, so there were less holes, so they patched those up, when they
Yes.
put the new roofing, and they removed all the ballast. So the problem was before it had a rock ballast up there, and so it was really difficult to figure out where a leak was coming from, because you'd have to clear the rock off to get down to the membrane that was there. So that ballast is all gone. And now it is just the membrane up there with as few of the venting pieces that they could do.
It can get tricky. I mean, it could be,
I-
commercial roofing is.
I wanna know what the
Cheap fix
warranty
it,
covers though, cause like
Yeah.
if it's a leak that Dan's gonna have to fix regardless because it's not a manufacturer's defect, then we're paying $5,000 for
Right.
them to walk a circle on our roof every year and
Yeah.
say, congrats, you have a roof. I don't know, I'm leaning towards not,
Yeah.
I would
It-
say no.
is my,
And we already have a 20-year one.
yeah,
Correct.
It's only,
you're paying $5,000.
Well, and I
Piece
feel
of
like
plywood.
we've had to
Right.
replace the roof after 20, I mean, I feel like with the segments that have been done, I don't
Right.
know how long
With
ago,
the-
but I mean, since I've been on the board, I feel like most of the roof has been done.
It has.
Since you've been on, cause the other 2 that didn't get
Or
done
just
Were
got
just done
done
at
prior.
had just been
And
done.
so,
Yeah.
and I feel like it was, 20, I don't know that it lasts 25. I feel like, not to be rude, but some of these warranties are scams, not saying they're scamming us, but I don't know, without knowing more money, more line item
That's what we need to
things.
Put down, but
Exactly what
most
thickness
roof
and-
Yeah.
spans are 20 to 25 years.
I was thinking as well that it would be, per Google, the lifespan of a commercial flat roof is typically 15 to 30 years.
Yeah.
So I,
Depends on the thickness of the membrane they put down at
In the
20,
install.
25, and the installer,
Yeah.
for sure.
I guess the thing would be, it kind of question, like Dan probably has the most knowledge about this. What is his what's his comment? What would his recommendation
Right.
potentially be? If he's been out there when they've inspected, like how thorough of an inspection are they? Or are they basically going, great, you got a roof, like it's wearing how it should be after X amount of years.
I don't know, cause a lot of those manufacturer warranties too, they're gonna cover product or product issue, but they're not gonna cover drainage issues
Right.
or gutter issues or any kind of leaking, so I feel like it's not worth. Like Dan's gonna be patching most of the holes regardless, or we're gonna be hiring someone to patch
mhm.
a leak point regardless for most of it, so I feel like probably not the most.
If you get a leak from something like that, does the school insurance, like a homeowner's insurance, like do we have?
Typically
Might sound like a
not
stupid
commercial.
question, but
No, maybe if there was like a massive,
Catastrophic.
like a whole classroom maybe got taken out or something, but not like the ceiling tiles or the furniture. That's typically what the damage has been internally, are ceiling tiles that you get a water stain on them and then we get a bucket underneath,
Okay,
when there was leaks.
I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Well, I am gonna go ahead then and put the motion forward that we do not do the $200 inspection per year. And we'll just stick with Dan inspecting it as needed and bringing someone out as things come up.
I second that.
Okay. All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? All right. Any other discussion on building pieces?
don't think so.
Okay. The next piece on here is Youth of Burnett County Prevention Coalition.
I
So
thought this was coming back. I thought she was gonna join us at the cow next month. So I'm not sure why we have it today.
let me just speak on what has been brought up.
Sure.
Rachel McNally, who works for the YOBC, has asked to rent a space from the school, a classroom, and then have access to possibly some gym space or classroom space after school to run, again, non-school events, Youth of Burnett County events, possibly meetings during the daytime hours, and then the potential for after-school youth activities, maybe even family activities. In her letter, she has said rent could be approximately $200 to $500 a month, depending on what space that they were able to get. When we talked about this at the cow, we wanted to know, we thought the middle school hallway would have a classroom in it and be probably the most accessible for getting in and out and not having access to other locations within the
Same with
school.
having a bathroom, right?
And having a bathroom, yep, so that would be really good. But we wanted to nail down that rent number a little more specifically from them.
And I don't know if she can nail that down yet, because I think her grant is a little in the air right now
Okay.
as far as number budget wise. So I'm not, but don't quote me on it.
Sure. So I think that during the cow, we had said that this sounds like a good opportunity for us as the school, as well as the group in the county.
I think it is. a fine idea.
And the students. So there's no motion to be made if she hasn't been able to then nail down a little bit more of a number for rent, but we know what we want to be able to offer, which would be a classroom in the middle school
Well, and
hallway.
we also need to make sure it's not a liability for our students. So that's another piece that we had requested because they're
During the
potentially-
daytime hours or the after school hours?
Well, probably
I think both of
daytime
them.
when, I mean,
These two.
and then like yeah, I mean,
Looked into that, so I'm sure he was probably gonna speak to it, so
Sure.
I'll add that to his list to email.
sure. Thank
Great.
you, Lisa.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it will be both,
She
yeah.
said that she's kind of on a timeline. And she was a little worried after the cow that it wasn't gonna go through, and she's continuing to look for places. And I would really hate to see us lose out on this opportunity,
Well,
so.
we would need like a contract to sign as the motion, right? Because we're in agreement that this is a good thing that we want to be able to offer and do, but we're gonna need like a contract agreement to actually
Sure.
approve with the number, the move-in date, how long it should be, and that,
Times.
yep, so that would come from Rachel?
I'm not sure, but part of her letter did say using the gym when it's available,
Available.
going through the policy that is already established. We've talked in the past about wanting more people to get into our building so
Mhm.
that they can be more supportive of our building by seeing our facility, using our facility, having a working agreement. It's all for the best of the kids. I just think if we could give her a better idea of where we're going with this.
Publicly, her organization could request usage of the gym at any point in time
Mhm.
through our building
Yes,
facility. So I don't feel like the gym part and utilizing even a classroom after school, that's all done through our building facilities.
yeah. and
Regular
we've
piece.
allowed other people to do it.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
Adventure Church has had family.
Right,
patrons
well,
here.
I don't think we would
We've
have-
allowed it. It isn't anything new. It's just a different organization that wants to use it in a different way.
And there would be no board approval need for her as an organization to just ask to utilize the space, because that's already there. It's truly the rental
Yes,
space portion. They're looking at 4 to 10 adults once a month. The majority of those members participate via Zoom. And if she has an office somewhere, in that middle school, I guess the main concern would be those other adults coming in to that space and not being in like the office in the back of the
Right.
the office space. Is that the liability piece that you're worried about?
So I guess my thought would be if she's gonna rent this space as like her office and she's got a classroom, which, okay, I don't have against it. It's just, she'll be, like, if it's her office, isn't she working out of there kind of like on a daily besides what other traveling? And I guess in my head, I feel like she's gonna be there almost daily, potentially from 8 to 4, like when we have students. So my question with the liability is like, she's in the middle school hallway. A lot goes on in the middle school hallway. Like, she's not a teacher, but like, what's her responsibility if there's a fight or kids are acting inappropriate or certain, and she's the only adult randomly in that hallway? Like, that's where I'm considering like a liability. Or if there's a fight and it was my kid and she didn't do anything. So is she potentially liable now from me because she watched this and didn't protect my kid, even though she's not like, that's playing out these different scenarios that potentially could be real. Again, I don't want her to like not interact with the kids, or when it's like break time or when the bell rings, like get out of the hallway, like don't be around the kids. Cause I mean, that's part of her job with some of this is working with the youth. It's just, as she's not a staff here or a teacher. I mean, she's here for or she's been here, but I think that's been under a grant this year. Correct me if I'm wrong, John. I don't know who can answer, because she's been here in some capacity working with the teachers, but she's been paid out of like the grant, right? So that grant's over. So like next year, if she does anything with the kids, it's going to be solely under her program. So is there any liability? Is there any concern? Is there any type of quote unquote again, I'm trying to protect her as well as our students and teachers and families. And maybe I'm overthinking it, but that's how I do.
I kind of think you are, but, and the reason I say that is because there could be any number of people in here at any time,
Right.
like having lunch with their kids.
Right.
Or
Volunteering in a classroom.
volunteering, and we don't have any necessarily added liability because of those issues. And this is.
Yeah, I think it's just because that's more like, in my opinion, like a one or two, like some will stay, I don't know if Steve still volunteers, but some having a volunteer here, they're only here one day a week. Or like if I come eat lunch with it's like randomly when I'm in the building. And again, situations can happen, but with her, if this potentially becomes her office and she's here 40 hours a week, potentially.
Limited number or like.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I just want to make sure she's protected and we're protected as like our students and our families. If there was any, again, I don't know, like any discrepancy, something were to happen, or if she saw, or, I don't want.
More opportunity if she is here more frequently.
Yeah.
She does not discuss in here how often she would have this other than a once a month meeting.
I feel like I think she wanted to rent it out as like an office.
She does, but I don't know if her grant offers her payment for 40 hours of work a week even. We could ask for that clarification from
I just
Rachel.
want to make sure everybody's in agreement, and I don't want her to be responsible or held reliable for something that potentially, again, I'm overthinking.
If she's using it as an office space, I just don't see it being a ton of mingling, like in the hallway at passing times. And so I just don't see that happening. When I'm in my office.
But again, okay, here's another one. What if there's a fire? Like, is she responsible to make sure the kids help the kids get out of the building? Like say there's a fire and the fire alarms are going off. She's another adult here. Is she potentially responsible at all to make sure again, she shouldn't be, but
are you
as an
responsible
adult,
if you are here with visiting your kid? If we have something where all the parents are in the auditorium watching their kids at a concert, are they responsible now for removing kids and families?
It's all just a gray area. Yeah,
it is. I would
and
want
again,
to,
again, I feel like, I know, like, I just feel like if she could do it and she could help, she definitely will. I just don't want it to. Is
this something we could ask our insurance carrier? Is that,
that was more like asking, I was gonna say Kevin may have.
To you tonight.
Okay.
Kevin may
let's
have the answers.
So does he?
Yes, so let's hear back from Kevin.
Yeah.
on what the insurance carrier has said. And then from Rachel, if she has some move-in dates, how long does she want this to be, a month to month or a 6 month or a school year? Just kind of that date piece. And then a closer price range from 200 to 500, pretty wide. That would be great information to collect from.
Question, because I handle some of the paperwork
Yeah.
that comes in for renting the building. There's actually a fee schedule.
Mhm.
Wouldn't it just follow that or no?
Well, that's
Just
when,
something special
if,
maybe.
if you think that the fee schedule fits for a daily piece, we could look at that.
Yeah, I don't feel like it does.
I think it might be more unique than that.
Yeah. That's for individual event.
Like one event. like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, I've got those down.
okay.
I see this as a revenue builder too, and I don't want us to lose that opportunity.
No, I mean, we
If
have
we
the
can share with
space.
Rachel that as we're looking for more of that information, that we are very interested in this.
Sure.
We just need to nail down a couple more details.
Sure. Do you want me to do that? Are you okay with me handling that piece?
Yeah,
Okay.
cause you and Kevin would have more information
Yeah.
than I have. it.
Okay.
She does watch the meetings a lot too, so
Yeah.
I'm glad that she hears the discussion and,
She might be hearing it right now.
right.
All right. Any other pieces on the YOBC rental? All right, the next piece on here is the intergovernmental agreements for Frederick and Webster. This is two different agreements that we need to approve tonight. One is for the IT coordinator with Frederick, and the other is for the school psych with Webster. At the COW, we had asked that the specific dollar amount that Siren is paying towards that school psychologist be listed. It's 50% of the total amount of all the benefits. And our portion of that is $47,912.50. And then the one for,
Frederick had a specific dollar amount.
yep,
Hmm.
Frederick already had the specific dollar amount, and we are paying,
Third of the time, 26 something.
we are paying 33% of that, and it's $26,595.69. For next year?
Then that we approve the intergovernmental agreements with Frederick and Webster.
All right,
Second.
so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion pass, and then we'll have signatures from both you and I for those. Okay, the next pieces are going to be retirements and resignation. So I'm gonna read through in each of these individually. We are looking for a motion to approve the retirement of our food service personnel, Rodney Dahl.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it with thanks.
Yes.
I've
absolutely.
never met Rodney Dahl, but I've heard really good things about him.
Yeah,
So
excellent.
thank him for his time here.
Absolutely. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes. I'm looking for a motion to approve the retirement of a high school teacher, Brian Webster.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
All
again
right,
with thanks for his years here.
many, many years and lots of accomplishments that he has had during that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. I'm looking for a motion to accept the resignation of elementary teacher Tina Karsten.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Any discussion?
again with many, many thanks.
Yes, pillar of our community, absolutely. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. I'm looking for a motion to accept the resignation of middle school teacher Ryan Karsten, also resigning from his extracurricular duties as AD coach. Jim, he's doing several other, eighth grade advisor, yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And what's the word I'm looking for? Opposed, there we go. Again, thank you very much, Ryan, for all that you've done for our community. All right, I'm looking for a motion to accept the resignation of elementary counselor Brooklyn Trickle.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? That passes. All right, looking for a motion to accept the resignation of paraprofessional Amy Manley.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? And that passes. All right,
Losing some good ones.
we are, and congratulations to those that are moving on to other things as well. I wish them all the best of luck at their next endeavors. All right, the next piece is a hiring protocol review.
So, with as many positions as I have, and you saw the internal posting, I would like permission to post on WeCan and Facebook simultaneously. I will always consider internal first, as long as they have the credentials to teach something different, or if they want to change grade levels, I never have a problem with that. But we're kind of on a crunch here, and I would like to get everything posted sooner than later. Perhaps we can continue doing this in the future to just be able to post internally and on WeCan simultaneously. Then depending on where we land, then another week out after the internal would close, then we would go to the Sentinel and to Facebook.
Okay, I
The
think you,
reason-
sorry, I'll let you finish.
The reason that I wouldn't go to the Sentinel first is because it costs us quite a bit of money, I think. And so if I can wait and see what I get from internal and WeCan, then we can kind of make those decisions as far as that goes.
There's no legality piece on our end to have to post it in the paper. It's just an additional place to post it.
Do we, for job postings, we don't need to post X amount of places. That's just for our
No.
meeting minutes.
Correct.
Okay, I don't know if I misheard you, but I feel like when you first started, you were asking to post WeCan and Facebook at the same time.
Oh, did I say that? I'm
Yes,
I
sorry.
thought so, and I was gonna say, so I was like, you already can, but then you changed it to internal. So,
Internal and.
We can at the same time.
okay, and then after a week for internal, you would then do face. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with like it going to WeCan first, as long as it's internal as well. And then I think that is viable waiting to do a week off before Facebook. So
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with what you're requesting.
Okay, and can I do that moving forward for anything else?
Can that be an
Can that just be
official?
Standard.
Do you want to rewrite this then?
I'll just change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then, I mean, I get where we're coming from with the Sentinel, because I mean, even Indeed years ago when we used that, and then we ended up hiring in-house after spending
I know.
how much money, so.
Okay, so we're gonna have a motion to move the line that says we can up to post internally, and we're gonna take out the 1 week to all staff, like that wouldn't be necessary in there. So it would be those two pieces at first, and then after 1 week, it can go to the Sentinel and Facebook. We should put the district website up at the top then as well.
Right away.
Right
Yeah,
away.
we can and the district.
In-
Yeah, I always want to make sure those match. So whatever we have on, we can have it on website.
Mhm.
All together at the same time.
Yep.
I'll make that.
Sentinel and Facebook.
Later.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, all those discussion?
Sorry, motion by
Corey.
Corey, seconded by,
Mindy.
Mindy.
okay, thank you.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? All right, so that's that. Okay, and then we moved our hiring of a middle school baseball assistant up as K. So we have had one applicant for the middle school baseball. It is Nick Webster.
Right.
And Ryan And you are making that
we interviewed, and so we are making that recommendation.
recommendation. He will be hired for the middle school baseball assistant coach for the 2026 season, hired at a year one level. Does anyone want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Corey's gonna make the motion.
I'll second it.
Mindy's gonna second it. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Is it all legit? I mean,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
All those in favor?
I,
Aye. Opposed? Okay. All right, so that concludes our new business. So then we are going to look at our meeting calendars. The next committee of the whole meeting is to be right now scheduled June 15th at 5 p.m. Is there any reason to make a change to that? Okay. Do we need a motion for these calendar? No, they're just happening. Okay, and then our regular school meeting, June 22nd at 5 p.m. the following week. Again, no need to move that around for any scheduling piece. Okay, all right, so then we are looking to approve the bills for the cycle of April 25th through May 19th of 2026.
I'll make that motion to approve the bills.
And a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? I do want to just make sure that as people are looking at this, we see a lot of returned checks in there. Again, as we've had that change in financial advisor, our length of time we are sitting on checks that weren't cashed is going to shorten up. And we are going to stop the old checks that never got cashed and then reissue a new check if they have lost it or for whatever reason.
Oh, is that why some of this, is this?
Or if they
some-
never received it. So that the beginning of the first page here, you will see a lot of negative, 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 and then you
Almost
may
like
see
false
this,
stuff.
right, you may see the payment, the same amount payment down further as a new check issued in the same dollar amount. And that was because the first cash check was not cashed, lost in the mail, whatever reason exists. So we are
So
canceling.
how
those.
does those, is that the AD that needs to sign off on? Because a lot of this is athletic stuff.
It's like the person may get the check in the mail as the official and they just didn't cash. These aren't automatic with
They're not all reissues. So there's
Yeah.
gonna be, you're gonna see voided where they're just absolutely voided, and you're gonna see some
Yeah.
that are voided and reissued. And CISA is telling me what to do on that per the auditor. And so he wanted that cleaned up, and I think he talked about it when he was here, about wanting that piece cleared up.
No, I'm just kind of asking with the sports piece as we like move into having.
it's not-
Having to have a new athletic director. So as like we're learning about some of the things Ryan does. For
we
the
didn't
new
do
one.
anything like this check got mailed out to said person and some of them you can see the person's name. They did not cash the check or it did
So
not get
you can
received by them.
guarantee 100% that those checks were cut prior and submitted to them after that work was done, and that wasn't something that they're just now submitting and
No.
getting
I
reimbursed
get
for.
the checks in advance from the AD to cut for whatever sporting event it is.
Okay,
Let's say baseball, I cut the checks today for baseball and then the game canceled, then I need to go back and void those.
okay,
I wouldn't be reissuing those because it might not be the same two
Right.
refs
Okay.
or umps or what have you.
Mhm.
So it really depends on what it is, but the AD is the one that directs those checks being cut.
okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so. And then I do have a question. So I don't see our payment to the bus company for this last month, besides the $1,000 for gas.
Whenever they give me the packet to cut, I cut it, so maybe it's coming in the next packet.
Okay,
I've cut everything that they've given me thus far.
All right.
oh, have a good night.
Okay, so we'll continue a little bit of a learning process with these new bill packets as we're seeing some of those differences than what we've had in the past. And we already had the motion and the second. All right, so all those in favor?
I,
Opposed? That passes, and then we'll make sure to note that Mindy was not here for that vote.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, we've got our items for signature. We'll take care of that. And then we are gonna convene into closed session. Under Wisconsin State Statute 19.851 CEFG to consider employment promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, considerations of financial, medical, social, personal information, and to confer with legal counsel who is rendering oral or written advice. So I'm looking for a motion to do that.
I'll make that motion.
By Corey, seconded by,
I'll second.
I'll call the roll.
Polly,
No.
Okay,
Corey, yes. Katie,
yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.